It is another beautiful day on planet Earth and another day of dose of Did You Know. We're inspiring, intriguing, unique individuals talk love and life and how it got them to where they are today because they've got some amazing things going on. And with me is Ivan. How are you, Ivan?
I'm great, Danny. How are you?
Well, I am doing fantastic. You know, the day I wake up, my eyes open and I take another breath, I'm like, we're going to have a great day today, Danny. That's like my mantra.
That's awesome.
But tell the world a little bit about who you are. I know who you are, but let everyone else let everyone else in on our secret.
Mm. I'm a disabled veteran, served in the U.S. Army for 10 years. I'm a retired financial services industry executive. I work for banks like Bank of America, is the uh, chief loan officer. I was a VP in Rainier National Bank and Gulf and Western National Bank. Ultimately retired and decided I wanted to do something to give back to the communities. So I started the United States Veterans Inc. Chamber of Commerce to bring the nation's small disadvantaged veteran owned businesses together so that they could give each other on our platform an opportunity to give each other first preference when it comes to giving their business. Um, we're also involved in a number of social service initiatives. For example, we started the Guardian Craft Brewery Network, which is a entrepreneurial, uh, sustainable self-funding initiative to provide reintegration, rehabilitation, and social services to the veterans and first responders in our communities.
We're going to dig a little bit into that. But you know what's so funny when you're talking about your career outside of the military? Majority of people that I end up connecting with are in that finance world somehow. It's so funny how there must be some like energetic vibration that I send off that you'd be like, you have to be in the insurance industry or the financial industry and we're going to get along. I don't I don't know why, but it just worked out that way.
Well, I think we're a breed of entrepreneurs,
Mm.
and that's who you're connecting with. Uh, so
There you go.
we
Maybe
are.
that's it. I like that. So I have to also give a little shout out because you say you're a disabled vet, but you are one badass vet. You're still out there in the gym. You're still doing what you do. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. But let's talk about this brewery. Well, first, I want to talk about the chamber, actually, because that is very cool. Because a lot of people want, American made, or they want to give their services to and support veteran businesses. So let's say you're not a business owner, but you want to support veteran businesses and made in America. Can you on that platform? Is it more internally for veterans?
No, that is exactly what the platform provides, but it provides it on a number of levels. First and foremost, the chamber is not just open to veteran-owned businesses, but we recognize and encourage non-veteran businesses who go above and beyond the call of duty to provide preferential contracting or employment opportunities to the veterans and the spouses themselves.
Mm.
So we have both veteran owned businesses and the non veteran businesses, whom we refer to as our strategic alliance partners. This opens up a wide range of the markets and opportunities for the veterans themselves because these companies, these larger companies, are really interested in working with veterans who own small businesses or veterans who are entrepreneurs who would like to go into business. This connects them. The problem is that there's never been a national platform in the United States that connects all the dots and brings these people together. So that's what we're doing on a national scale. We do also, we are not a nonprofit organization, we are a for profit. In
Mhm.
that we are a business organization, we choose to lead by example. I was in the 1st Infantry Division, and the motto is if you can't lead, follow me. So that's what we do. We encourage both small veteran owned businesses to interact with one another and to interact on a local level with all our strategic alliance partners.
I love that because I like things that are simple and easy. Mostly because I don't have a ton of time. So I like when people do the research for
Yeah,
me. So I like to do like, I want to click, I want to know, okay, here's a list of businesses that I can choose from. And it makes life simple. Are you finding it's making life simple for those in your organization that is kind of like bada bing, bada boom?
absolutely. We have a number of services that we provide to our veteran owned businesses as part of their membership. So we have veteran owned business directories. We have a who's who directory in veteran owned businesses so that veteran owned business owners can actually look up the individual they're doing business with and get some background on them before they contact them. We implement technologies like Pokin, which is really cool. Uh, we're currently initiating veteran business to business networking events in all the veteran facilities, the VSOs, in the communities throughout the United States. There are approximately 36,000. And many of those VSOs are dying because the old guard is doing business on a bar stool. They're
Yeah.
not they're not inter community friendly, and they don't provide services for the most part that attract the new members and their families into the organization. So that's part of what we're doing. So when we host business networking events in these facilities, we're not only selling the Guardian Craft Brewery Special Operational Forces craft beer lines to generate funding, but we're bringing both the business community and non-veteran business community together to do business on the local level. Um, in that we're doing this, we're also hosting employment opportunity events in these organizations so that the veterans who are looking for jobs or their spouses will be able to connect with the veteran owned businesses throughout the United States or in their community on a local level to get the employment opportunity they deserve. We have 1.4 million veterans that are unemployed throughout the United States. We have 3.7 million veteran owned businesses. So, with 3.7 million veteran owned businesses and tens upon tens of millions of non veteran businesses that are looking to hire veterans, we shouldn't have any unemployed veterans in our communities. So, this helps.
Yeah. I actually love it because I love always like generational learning. I love reigniting like the VFWs around the country. That is very big. I know it's hitting just because maybe I have a big community in Tennessee, but I know in Tennessee there's a real initiative of those younger veterans supporting the older veterans and having a nice bond there. But I love how you're bringing these networking events there. Like that seems ingenious, and I've never heard that till right now. Are you guys the only one doing this?
Pretty much. And, it's if you ever been to a networking event, you hand cards to one another and, in that exchange, you meet
Yeah.
that person. But once you get home, you forget who that person is and you have a whole bunch of cards that are virtually useless to you. So what we're doing is implementing a technology called Pokin. And this is a small device that looks like a little USB, and they wear it. And when they meet somebody at the event that has the product or service that they're really interested in, They take their device and they touch it to the other person's device, and their name, their picture, their entire company profile, and all their contact information is exchanged. So when they get back home, they take this device, they plug it into the USB drive of their computer, and the database of all the people that they met pop up. Now, what's very cool is that, in the state of Massachusetts, for example, we're planning events all over the state. So when you go, and these are weekly events, there'll be one every week somewhere in the state. If you want to expand your market area outside the city or the county, or maybe even across the state, you can attend these events and exchange your information or gather meaningful network information for your enterprise to do business down the road.
Mm. And I love how you're already on a common ground. You're at the VFW, you're a veteran, either a veteran supporting business or a veteran business yourself. So you've already kind of made that connection, and you're taking it to the next level because Travis is here. He's actually in Boston. He has Oscar Mike podcast, and he says hi. So let me throw that out there. But I agree with him. You go to a lot of these networking events and people just want to throw their card at you. Like somehow that's gold. And then you go back and I'm like, I didn't want all these cards. I don't even know if I like you or not. Have a conversation with me. And then maybe I'll accept your card and we can go forward. But I like how it's it almost that little device. It's convenient and nice and easy, which we know Coach Danny likes. And secondly, it's kind of takes it to, I have to say, you know what? I'm really interested in you. And that means we had to have had a conversation, because then we have to do an action of putting two devices together. To me, that brings it to a different level in my mind as I'm envisioning myself doing this.
It does. And the fact that you're able to see the individual on your computer, now your memory's reactivated and you're able to recall your conversation. You know who the individual is that you're looking to do business with, or the individual that's looking to do business with you. So if an individual contacts me and I accepted his information, I can go back and look this individual up and refresh my memory on what they do and get some background on whether they can provide the product or services that I'm interested in.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't even know this. We were going to talk mostly about the brewing because I'm fascinating about that. But that's okay, because you'll be back with Travis McVeigh Thursday night for a resource panel. But I want to stay on this for 2 seconds. So if someone is part of a VFW in their area, would they just contact the chamber and be like, hey, I want to bring this to my area? And then you would walk through that process with them?
That's correct.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Again, love it.
We actually have an advanced guard, and there needs to be some training for the people that are hosting the events. So as we expand into those areas, rather than have 5 events in a county, we'll have 1 in each county, and then we'll grow out geometrically as people are experienced and educated when it comes to running the events and managing the people in the events.
That's good. Quality, not quantity.
That's correct.
That is how I like it. So let's touch on this brewery. What made you? Because microbrews are out. I know Travis McVeigh, who's going to join us Thursday. He has a vodka company. But tell me a little bit of how you became this idea, because you are an entrepreneur. I mean, you have. Every time I talk to you, I'm like, what? I didn't know you did that. I didn't know this happened. So how did this brewery come about? Concept.
Companies get calls from people soliciting charity or charitable donations on behalf of veterans. Day in, day out, I get them myself, and it's really aggravating, especially in that in the last generation, $300 billion dollars has been donated to veteran charitable organizations, and those organizations actually end up getting less than 30% of what's collected. The money's just not going where it's supposed to go. And there's another side of the coin too, where you have these veteran organizations who are simply mismanaging the money, and the principals of the organization are buying homes and cars and
Yeah.
going on vacations with money that's been slated or supposed to have been slated for the veteran. So my thought was that, you know, our veterans, uh, first responders and their families don't want or need charity. What they want and need is opportunity. So I
Mhm.
wanted to take an entrepreneurial approach that would provide sustainable funding for all these social service initiatives. Uh, I chose beer because it's very popular, sold in businesses throughout the United States. It brings people together on a social level who have a similar interest. And this will allow them, when we have these social events, to build community, both between the military, the first responders, and the patriotic Americans that support our initiatives. So what we do is we bring them together on a local level in local bars with our craft beer brands and invite these people in. So it's a social networking event,
Yeah.
not so much a business networking event, to build community, because as veterans, we leave the service and we forget one another. We're brothers in service, whereas we're sisters in service. But when we leave service, nobody stays in touch. This is an endeavor that will allow people to come together and rebuild the community that they lost.
Hmm. Such a great idea. You are the man of initiative and ideas. I'm like, if I could have a little bit of that tactical aspect of you, good golly, who knows what Danny Rocco would become. But
Oh,
I love this. So I don't want to go too far because you're going to give some great value and resources on Thursday. So I want people to check in, because between you and Travis, I mean, I have a feeling if you have a thought of, you know what, I want to do this. I've been brewing my own beer. I've been brewing my own things. How do I take it to the next level? That's where you help, right? You can help them not, or am I mistaken? Can you bring people from the concept of it actually into production, or do they already need to be in production?
well, for the most part, we partner with small disadvantaged craft breweries in the communities.
Okay.
Uh, so this lifts those businesses that are struggling against much bigger breweries a hand up.
Mm,
Uh, Not only does it give them a hand up, but we say if you can hardly lift up one of America's heroes without at the same time lifting up yourself. And this ties them into a niche market community, unlike any other. But we're also encouraging veterans who are interested in brewing to
mhm.
start their own breweries, their own microbreweries,
Yeah.
and grow with us, because we're bringing forth a huge market opportunity that they won't find anywhere else.
Mm,
Uh, the other benefit are the craft beer retail resellers that we're working with throughout the community that are selling this beer, and we're bringing customers into their establishments, which is important, especially during the pandemic, when many of these businesses are struggling. Once this is over with, they're going to have to start from scratch.
yeah.
Well, we bring together a niche market opportunity unlike any other that will just provide them publicity and growth opportunities that they can't get anywhere else.
Mm, I love this. Is so everybody out there listening, Ivan is, don't, if you what is that saying? It was in my mind and it just was like spewing in my mind as you're talking. Teach a man to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime, give a man to fish and he'll eat for one meal or something like that. Whatever that is, how I feel you are.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so my last question for you before we wrap it up today is I ask you to answer honestly with the first thing that comes to your mind, no matter how silly or out of the box or wonky it might sound to you. It's your truth. In this moment right now, Ivan, what does love mean to you?
Love. Love means to defend those who cannot defend themselves and serving the less fortunate.
Mm,
That's the foundation on which I built my life.
yeah. And that does sum you up in a perfect little heart-shaped box. It does. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining about what you do and not just sharing what you do, but living it every single day of your life. And I get to see you 2 times this week, today and back again on Thursday at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, well, before we close, let me
Yes.
thank you, Danny, for your service because we believe when one serves, they all serve. And as a mother of a veteran, we truly appreciate what you have done. And let me also thank you for your continued service because what you do is just awesome. And again, you're lifting up the military community. So at the same time, you're lifting up yourself. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I can go the rest of my day. Sometimes you just need to hear those words and you're like, oh, you made me speechless. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you. And to everyone out there that is watching, always remember, love hard, love pure, love proactive. And until next time, we will see you. Take care.
thank you.